Let me out of here! Bang, bang, bang. Sienna's fists slammed against the locked door, over and over, her voice raw from screaming. David, open this door right now! Bang, bang. Her hands were red, bruised from hours of pounding. Days of it. But she didn't care. She kept hitting, kept screaming, kept fighting. You can't keep me locked in here! This is illegal! This is kidnapping! Silence from the other side. She pressed her ear against the door, listening desperately for any sound. Footsteps, breathing, anything, nothing. Please! Her voice broke, tears streaming down her face now. Please, David, just let me call my parents. Just let me... Footsteps. She froze. Someone was coming down the hallway. Slow, measured steps, unhurried, confident. They stopped right outside her door. Sienna backed away, both hands moving protectively to her pregnant belly. The lock clicked. The door opened. David Kim stood there, and everything about him was wrong. His eyes, those friendly brown eyes that had looked at her with such warmth and concern, were cold now, empty, like looking at a stranger wearing David's face. Are you finished? His voice was flat, emotionless. David, what is happening? Why are you doing this to me? He stepped inside, closed the door behind him with a soft click. Didn't lock it this time. Didn't need to. They both knew she had nowhere to run. Sienna, we need to talk. He gestured to the bed. Sit down. I'm not sitting down. I want out of here. Sit. Down. Not a request. An order. Something in his tone made her legs weak. This wasn't the David she knew. This was someone else entirely. Someone dangerous. She sat slowly on the edge of the bed, hands never leaving her belly. David pulled up a chair, sat across from her. Relaxed. Like they were having a casual conversation instead of whatever this was. You've been wondering why you're here, he said calmly. Let me tell you. You said this was for my safety. You said the Hwangs... I lied. Welcome to part 7. We're almost at the end of Sienna and Tae-Hyun's story. Everything is about to explode. David's true plan is finally coming to light. Tae-Hyun is ready to destroy his father, and Sienna, she's trapped, with nowhere left to run. Thank you all so much for the love, comments, and support. It means the world to me knowing you're enjoying this series. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and turn on your notifications so you'll be the first to catch the next part. And even more mind-blowing stories coming your way. All right, this is it. Let's dive in. Sienna almost choked. What do you mean you lied? My name is David Kim. That part's true. But 6 months ago, I was someone else. A different life. A different purpose. He leaned back in the chair, studying her like a specimen. I was a military operative, specialized in long-term undercover operations, psychological, manipulation, target acquisition, and control. Her hands tightened on her belly. I don't understand. I was hired, Sienna. Hired to get close to you, to become your friend, your confidant, your protector. His lips curved in something that wasn't quite a smile. Your boyfriend. The room tilted. Hired? By who? Hwang Junho, head of the Hwang family. The name hit her like a physical blow. The Hwangs. The people who'd kidnapped her in Seoul, who'd beaten her, terrorized her, nearly killed her. No. She was shaking her head, refusing to believe it. No, that's not. You saved me. You were there when I collapsed. I was there because I'm always there, Sienna. That's the job. Get close. Gain trust. Be indispensable. He stood, walked to the window, looked out at the isolated forest surrounding the ranch. The letter that made you collapse in that parking lot? My colleague sent it. Too aggressive, honestly. I was angry about that. You weren't supposed to almost lose the baby. The baby. Her voice was barely a whisper. What do you want with my baby? David turned back to face her, and for the first time, she saw it. The predator behind the mask. Lee Tae-Hyun destroyed the Hwang organization, killed their men, cost them billions and lost business. They want revenge, but not quick revenge. Not a bullet to the head, that's too easy. He moved closer, and she instinctively pressed back against the headboard. They want him to suffer, really suffer, for the rest of his life. What are you going to do? In 2 months, when you're 7 months pregnant, you're going to go into premature labor. A medical emergency. Very tragic, very believable. His voice was clinical now, detached. I'll rush you to a private facility I've arranged. You'll give birth. And then, he paused, letting the moment stretch. You'll be told your son died, stillborn, a devastating loss. We'll also work on your memory. No. The word came out as a sob. Except he won't be dead, Sienna. He'll be very much alive. Just somewhere else. With someone else. Being raised by the Huang family. The horror of it crashed over her like a wave. You're going to steal my baby? I'm going to let you think he's dead. Let Tae-Hyun think he's dead. You'll both mourn this child for the rest of your lives. Destroyed by grief, by guilt, by the what-ifs. David's smile was cruel now. Meanwhile, your son will be alive, growing up, being raised by your worst enemies. And you'll never know. Neither of you will ever know. That's insane. She was on her feet now, backing toward the corner, hands protectively cradling her belly. You'll never get away with this. I already have. You're isolated. No cell service, no neighbors for miles. Your phone doesn't work. Your parents think you're safe with your loving boyfriend. He gestured around the room. In 2 months, this will all be over. You'll go home with a tragic story about your dead baby. Tae-Hyun will be destroyed. And the Huangs will have their revenge. Tae-Hyun will find me. Tae-Hyun doesn't even know you're missing. David's voice was almost pitying. And by the time anyone figures it out, it'll be too late. The baby will be gone. You'll think he's dead. And Lee Tae-Hyun, the man who destroyed the Huangs, will be broken. Forever. How much? Her voice was shaking. How much did they pay you to do this? $5 million. Half up front. Half when I deliver the child. $5 million to steal a baby? $5 million to destroy Lee Tae-Hyun's soul. David moved toward the door. I'll bring you dinner in an hour. Try to eat. The baby needs nutrients. You're a monster. He paused at the door, looked back at her. No, Sienna, I'm a professional. There's a difference. The door closed. The lock clicked. Sienna collapsed on the bed, hands clutching her belly, sobbing. I'm sorry, baby. She whispered through her tears. I'm so sorry. Mommy got us into this. Mommy trusted the wrong person. But I swear, I will get us out of here. I will protect you. I won't let them take you. But even as she made the promise, she didn't know how. She was trapped, alone, 7,000 miles from the only person who could save her. And David Kim, the man she'd trusted with her life, was planning to steal her son. 7,000 miles away in Seoul, Lee Tae-Hyun sat in his office at midnight, surrounded by screens showing his father's crumbling empire. He hadn't slept in 3 days, hadn't eaten properly, hadn't done anything except systematically destroy everything Lee Dong-wook had built. And his father had no idea it was his own son doing it. The door opened. Min-jae entered, carrying a tablet with fresh reports. Sir, the latest updates. Tae-Hyun didn't look up from his screens. Tell me. 3 more of your father's shipping operations have been disrupted. The containers arrived at the wrong ports. The goods never reached their destinations. His clients are threatening legal action and demanding refunds. Good. What else? Min-jae scrolled through his tablet. The information we leaked about his illegal arms deals to Russia? His competitors received it this morning. They're already undercutting his prices by 30%. He's losing contracts. How many? 5 major deals canceled in the last 48 hours alone. Tae-Hyun finally looked up, his face expressionless. Not enough. I want more. Sir, we've also intercepted communications between your father and his business partners in Hong Kong. They're getting nervous, pulling back. Some are cutting ties entirely, because they think he's losing control. Exactly, sir. Min-jae set the tablet down. His reputation is everything in this business. Once people start thinking he's weak, that he can't protect his operations, They abandoned him like rats from a sinking ship. Tae-Hyun stood, walked to the floor-to-ceiling windows, overlooking Seoul's glittering skyline. How much has he lost so far? Conservative estimate, 2 billion won, but it's climbing daily. I want him to lose everything. Every business deal, every ally, every source of income. His voice was ice cold. I want him desperate, panicking, tearing apart his organization, trying to find who's destroying him. Sir, should we let him know it's you? No. Tae-Hyun's jaw clenched. Not yet. Let him suffer first. Let him feel his world crumbling around him and not understand why. Let him suspect everyone. His business partners, his rivals, his own men. And when he's at his weakest, then I'll tell him. Tae-Hyun turned back to face Min-jae. I'll walk into his office and tell him that his own son destroyed everything he built. That every loss, every failure, every betrayal, it was all me. Payment for what he did to Sienna. Min-jae nodded slowly. What about a direct confrontation now? No, I want him weak first. Desperate, broken. Tae-Hyun returned to his desk, picked up the worn sonogram photo he kept there. He destroyed the woman I love, tore us apart with lies and manipulation. This is justice. After Min-jae left, Tae-Hyun sat alone in the quiet office, staring at the sonogram image. I'm doing this for you, he whispered to the tiny form in the picture. For you and your mother. He won't get away with what he did. I promise you that. He set the photo down carefully, then pulled up more files on his father's operations. There were still dozens of businesses to dismantle. Dozens of ways to make Dong-wook bleed. And Tae-Hyun had all the time in the world. 3 days after Sienna disappeared, Kwame Johnson sat in his car outside the Maryland Police Department, trying to calm his racing heart. The bandage on his head from the attack throbbed. His hands shook slightly as he gripped the steering wheel. He'd been sitting here for 10 minutes, preparing himself. You can do this, he muttered to himself. Just go in, file the report, and they'll help. They have to help. He got out of the car, straightened his jacket, and walked toward the entrance. The police station was busy. Officers moving through the hallways, phones ringing, the general chaos of a weekday afternoon. Kwame approached the front desk, where a white officer in his 40s sat, typing something into a computer. Excuse me, Kwame said politely. I need to report a missing person. The officer barely looked up. Name? My name is Kwame Johnson. I'm here to report my daughter missing. Now the officer looked at him. His eyes traveled from Kwame's face to the bandage on his head, then back down to his paperwork. How long has she been missing? 3 days. She's pregnant, 4 months along, and I believe she may have been kidnapped. The officer's expression shifted. Something dismissive entered his eyes. Kidnapped? That's a serious accusation. What makes you think she was kidnapped? She's not answering her phone. The number isn't in service. The man she's with, a man named David Kim. We can't reach him either. He took her to some remote location, and now we have no way to contact her. The officer leaned back in his chair. So she went somewhere with her boyfriend? Not her boyfriend, just someone she was seeing. And I don't trust him. Something's wrong. Sir, let me stop you there. The officer held up his hand. Most young women your daughter's age just need space, especially when they are pregnant, probably tired of parents nagging her about her choices. Kwame's jaw tightened. Officer, my daughter wouldn't just disappear without contacting us. She's responsible. Is this the father of the baby? This David Kim? No, the father is someone else. The officer's eyebrows rose. So she's pregnant by one man and ran off with another man. And you're surprised she's not taking your calls? That's not what this is about. Look, The officer glanced at the name he'd written down. Mr. Johnson, we get calls like this all the time. Parents worried about their adult children. 9 times out of 10, the kid just needed a break from family drama. This is not family drama. Kwame's voice rose slightly. My daughter is 4 months pregnant. She's not answering her phone for 3 days. And the man she's with has isolated her somewhere we can't find. Lower your voice, sir. Kwame took a breath, forced himself to calm down. I'm sorry, but please, I need you to understand. This isn't normal for Sienna. She wouldn't just cut off contact like this. The officer sighed, clearly annoyed now. All right, let's say I file a report. You got an address for where this David Kim took her? No, he said it was his family's ranch, about 2 hours outside the city, but he never gave us the exact address. So you don't know where she is. That's why I'm here. That's why I need your help to find her. Mr. Johnson, we can't just go searching for every adult woman who decides to spend a few days away from home. She's not away from home. She's missing. She's with someone. Her choice. That's not missing. That's just not answering your calls. Kwame stared at the officer, disbelief flooding through him. Are you seriously not going to help me? Sir, we have real crimes to deal with. Actual emergencies. Not some... The officer trailed off, but his eyes said what his mouth didn't. Not some what? Kwame's voice was dangerously quiet now. Finish that sentence. Look, I'm just saying, pregnant girls that age, they're emotional. They make impulsive decisions. Give her a few days, she'll come home when she's ready. And if she doesn't, if something's happened to her, then come back in a week and we'll file a report then. A week? My daughter could be in danger right now. Sir, I'm going to need you to calm down. I am calm. I'm trying to report my pregnant daughter missing and you're telling me to wait a week? Other officers were looking now. One moved toward the desk, hand resting casually near his belt. The desk officer stood up. Mr. Johnson, I understand you're concerned, but we have limited resources. We can't investigate every case of a young woman who doesn't answer her phone for a few days. Why? Kwame's voice shook. Why can't you investigate? Is it because she's black? Because I'm black? That has nothing to do with it, doesn't it? Kwame leaned forward. Would you be this dismissive if she was white? If I was white and reporting my white daughter missing? Sir, you need to leave, now. Not until you file a report. We're not filing a report for an adult woman who chose to go somewhere with her boyfriend. The officer's patience had clearly run out. Most of the time, girls like her just couldn't keep their pants on, and now they're dealing with the consequences. That's not police business. The words hit Kwame like a slap. What did you just say? You heard me. Now leave, or I'll have you removed. Girls like her? Kwame's voice was shaking with rage now. You mean black girls? You mean my daughter is just some stereotype to you? Some irresponsible black girl who got pregnant, and now you don't care if she's in danger? The other officer was fully approaching now, his posture aggressive. Those were your words, not mine. And sir, you need to leave the building. Right now. I'm trying to report my daughter missing. You're disturbing the peace and interfering with police operations. The desk officer's hand moved to his belt near his weapon. This is your last warning. Leave voluntarily or you'll be arrested. Kwame stared at both officers, saw the hardness in their eyes, the complete lack of concern for his daughter, saw that if he pushed further, he'd be arrested, and then he'd be no help to Sienna at all. This is racism, he said quietly. Pure racism. You're dismissing a missing person report because we're black. Last warning, Mr. Johnson. Leave. Kwame turned and walked out, his whole body shaking with fury and fear. Behind him, he heard one officer mutter to the other, "Typical, always playing the race card." The other laughed. Probably just another baby mama drama situation? Kwame kept walking. Out the door, across the parking lot, to his car. He got in, closed the door, and sat there. Then put his head on the steering wheel and let out a sound somewhere between a sob and a scream. They wouldn't help. His phone rang. Zainab. He didn't answer. Couldn't answer. She was the last person he wanted to talk to. After a moment, he lifted his head, wiped his eyes. If the American police wouldn't help, he'd find someone who would, even if it meant calling the one person his wife had been trying to keep Sienna away from. Lee Tae-Hyun. Across town, Dr. Zainab Johnson knelt in an empty church, tears streaming down her face. The afternoon sun filtered through, stained glass windows, casting colored light across the wooden pews. She was alone, except for flickering candles and the crushing weight of her guilt. God, I've sinned. Her voice echoed in the quiet sanctuary. I've made terrible mistakes. I thought I was protecting my daughter, keeping her safe from danger, from a man I thought would destroy her. Her hands gripped the pew in front of her until her knuckles went pale. But I was wrong. So wrong. She'd been there for over an hour, praying, crying, trying to find some answer in the silence. Please, she whispered. Please keep Sienna safe. Keep my grandson safe. I'll do anything. I'll confess everything. I'll face whatever consequences come. Just please bring them home. Footsteps behind her. She turned to see Father Michael approaching, an elderly priest with kind eyes and silver hair. Dr. Johnson? His voice was gentle. I saw you come in. You've been here quite a while. Father, Her voice broke. I need help. I need prayers. My daughter is missing, and it's my fault. He sat down in the pew beside her. Your fault? Everything poured out then. All of it. The deal she'd made with the wrong person. The money she'd accepted to keep Sienna away from Tae-Hyun. The staged photos she'd forwarded to break her daughter's heart. Every manipulation, every lie, every terrible decision she'd made thinking she was protecting Sienna. I thought I was being a good mother, she sobbed. I thought I knew what was best for her. But I was controlling her, manipulating her life because I was afraid. Father Michael listened quietly until she finished. Have you confessed this to your family? My husband knows. He found out. He can barely look at me now. And your daughter? She's missing, Father. That's the problem. Fresh tears fell. I can't tell her anything because I don't know where she is. The man I thought was safe, the man I pushed her toward, he's taken her somewhere, and we can't find her. The priest was quiet for a long moment, his weathered hands folded in his lap. Dr. Johnson, I don't think the help you need is in this church. She looked at him. You need to find your daughter, and I don't think prayers alone will do that. He met her eyes directly. You made a deal with a dangerous man, a criminal with resources and connections across the world. Perhaps what? The church and this are two sides of a coin. He who walks with devils cannot claim to be pure. She just stared at him in silence. Perhaps you know exactly who can help you and where you should be right now. The words settled over her like cold water. Tae-Hyun. Zainab watched him walk away, his words echoing in her mind. She had to go back to exactly what she tried to avoid, but she had a deal with Dong-wook, even if it meant begging, even if it meant humiliating herself completely. Her daughter's life depended on it. In her car outside the church, Dr. Zainab sat with her phone in her hands, staring at Dong-wook's number. Since she made a deal with him, she wanted to see if he could help her instead. Her hands were shaking. She'd called him once already, days ago. He'd hung up on her, told her never to call again. She took a deep breath and dialed. The phone rang once, twice, 3 times. Then his voice, sharp and irritated. What? Mr. Lee, please don't hang up. I told you not to call this number again. My daughter is missing. The words burst out of her. It's been 3 days now. 3 days of no contact. The man she's with, David Kim, he's taken her somewhere remote and we can't reach them. We can't find them. And I'm terrified something terrible is happening to her. That's not my problem. Each word was clipped, angry. She's carrying your grandson, your son's child. A grandson I don't want. His voice was rising now, fury evident. From a relationship that should never have happened. How many times do I have to say this? Please, Mr. Lee, you have resources, connections, private investigators. You can find her when we can't. When you can't? He laughed, bitter and cruel. What about the deal we made, Dr. Johnson? Have you forgotten so soon after devouring my money? She hesitated. I think we made a mistake. We? He let out a bitter laugh. There's no we here, and I don't make mistakes. Go ahead, run to the police or something. His voice hardened, a cruel smirk forming. Oh, that's right. No one would even listen to you. The accuracy of his words stung. How did you? Because that's how the world works, Dr. Johnson. Welcome to reality. You have no power, no connections, no leverage. You're nobody to them. Then help us. You do have power. You do have connections. Or I'll meet Tae-Hyun. Why should I? He was shouting now. You took my money and failed. Sienna was supposed to stay away from my son. But instead, she's caused nothing but problems. My son is obsessed with her. My business is falling apart. That woman, Misu, has recordings of me that could destroy my family. And you want me to help you? I'm begging you. You should have thought about consequences before making deals with criminals. His voice went deadly quiet. You want my advice? Go to the police. Oh wait, you tried that. And they don't care. Because you're black, because you're powerless, because you're nothing. Mr. Lee, please. I have my own problems, Dr. Johnson. My own crisis. My entire empire is crumbling, and I don't know why. So forgive me if I don't have time to worry about your daughter who made her own choices. She's in danger. We made a deal. Don't go disturbing my son with this. I want you and your family out of my life. His voice was final. Don't call this number again. We're done. The line went dead. Dr. Zainab sat in her car, phone still pressed to her ear, the dial tone buzzing. She'd failed. Tears streamed down her face as the reality settled over her. Her daughter was out there, pregnant, with a man they knew nothing about. She realized how foolish she had been, and Zainab had no way to save her, except one person who would destroy the earth for her daughter, and she was just realizing it. 20 minutes later, Dr. Zainab pulled into her driveway. Kwame's car was already there. He must have gotten home while she was at the church. She sat in her car for a moment, trying to compose herself, wiping away tears, trying to look stronger than she felt. Then she walked inside. Kwame was in the living room, pacing with his phone in his hand, his face tight with stress. The bandage on his head was stark white against his skin. He looked up when she entered, his expression hard. Where were you? I went to church, to pray. She set down her purse, to ask for guidance. Did you find anything? Any word from Sienna? Did you? Something in his tone made her pause. I called Lee Dong-wook again. I thought maybe if I explained better, if I made him understand. You did what? Kwame's voice exploded through the room. He spun to face her fully, his eyes blazing with fury. You called that man again? After everything? And I thought you got some senses after your hypocritical prayers of the church, you criminal. I thought he could help. He has resources, connections. Resources? Kwame threw his phone onto the couch. He's the reason she's in this mess. He's the one who paid you to destroy her relationship with Tae-Hyun. And you went crawling back to him for help? I just wanted to try him first. He's even more connected than his son. Oh fuck, Kwame blurted out. But how about the police? I tried. His voice cracked with emotion. I spent 45 minutes at that police station, trying to file a report, trying to make them understand that our daughter is missing. Zainab's hand went to her mouth. What happened? What happened? Kwame laughed, bitter and broken. They treated me like garbage. Like I was wasting their precious time. One black man trying to report his missing black daughter. Not important enough for them. Oh God, Kwame. Don't call me, he barked. This is all your fault. Your selfish reasons? You hypocritical creature? Don't call me that, please, Zainab cried, her voice trembling. That's exactly what you are, Kwame snapped. You wanted nothing to do with their criminal family, yet you had no problem spending their money. Make it make sense. Zainab felt like she'd been punched. She moved toward him, but he stepped back. Don't, Kwame. I'm so sorry. Sorry? His voice was hollow now. You're sorry? You're sorry? I didn't know it would turn out like this. You didn't think. He grabbed his jacket from the chair. You took money from a crime lord. You manipulated our daughter's life. You destroyed her relationship because you decided you knew better. And now she's gone and we can't find her. Where are you going? To do what we should have done a long time ago. Zainab took a deep breath. I support... He cut her off sharply. I didn't ask for it. Kwame, you can't treat me this way. I can and I will, he exploded. Tae-Hyun flew 7,000 miles just to see her. He showed up at our door, heartbroken and desperate, while your perfect, safe American man was busy planning to trap her. She was in tears and couldn't say a word. Well, congratulations. Our daughter is with your safe man, and we have no idea where she is. Just pray nothing happens to her. Kwame, please. But he was already out the door. The sound of his car starting, pulling out of the driveway. Gone. Dr. Zainab stood alone in the living room, the weight of her mistakes crushing her as she began to cry. She collapsed onto the couch, buried her face in her hands, and sobbed. Everything she'd done to protect Sienna had led to this moment. She was such a fool. In Seoul, Lee Dong-wook sat in his private study, surrounded by evidence of his failing empire. His computer screen showed a cascade of red numbers, losses, canceled contracts, disappeared funds. His phone kept ringing with more bad news. Sir, the Bangkok shipment is missing. Mr. Lee, the Singapore deal fell through. Sir, your Hong Kong partners are pulling out. He'd stopped answering after the 10th call. Just let them ring. Let them leave voicemails he wouldn't listen to. Everything was falling apart. In 3 days, he'd lost more money than in the previous year. Major contracts canceled. Longtime allies suddenly distant. Business partners backing out without explanation. Someone was doing this. Someone with deep knowledge of his operations. Someone who wanted to destroy him. But who? He pulled up financial records, trying to trace the pattern. But everything was too coordinated, too precise. Whoever was behind this knew exactly where to strike. His glass of whiskey sat empty on the desk. He reached for the bottle, poured another. The door to his study opened. He didn't look up. Get out. Now that's no way to greet an old friend. That voice. Dong-wook's head snapped up. Park Mi-soo stood in the doorway, wearing a red dress that clung to her body. Her hair fell in waves around her shoulders. In her hands, she carried a bottle of expensive wine and 2 glasses. What are you doing here? His voice was ice. I told you to leave my house, leave my family alone. And go where? She smiled, closing the door behind her with a soft click. Back to my apartment where your assassins are waiting? No, thank you. I'm much safer here. You're insane. He turned back to his computer, dismissing her. Get out before I throw you out. You won't. She walked toward him slowly, hips swaying. Because you need me right now. I don't need anything from you. Don't you? She reached his desk, set down the wine bottle. You're the devil. You've come to destroy my peace, my family. I'm your student, remember? She said with a cold smile. You taught me everything I know about manipulation. You're the one who sent me to seduce your son. Don't forget that. And did I tell you to betray me? Dong-wook's voice was low, shaking with fury. That's why you want to kill me now, isn't it? She replied. But you didn't think I'd know how to protect myself? She stepped closer, hips swaying with calculated grace, and set the wine bottle on his desk. Besides, she murmured, where else would I be safe, if not here? In the lion's den, under your protection. I should kill you right now, but you won't. She leaned in until her breath brushed his ear. Because you've missed me, haven't you? Just leave, Dong-wook yelled. You don't want me to leave. Mi-soo moved around the chair, straddled him, her dress riding up. You want to forget. To stop thinking about your failing business and your distant wife. You're poison. Yes. She kissed his neck. But you like poison, don't you? You always have. His hands moved to her waist, hating himself even as he did it. This is wrong. You shouldn't have come here. You should have followed the rules, he said. Everything about us has always been wrong. She kissed him, deep and hungry. That's never stopped you before. Dong-wook grabbed the wine bottle she'd brought, drank straight from it, trying to numb himself, trying to forget the chaos of his life. Then he kissed her back. Rough, desperate, angry. They made love right there in his study, on his chair, surrounded by computer screens showing his crumbling empire. 2 toxic people feeding off each other's poison, using each other to forget their problems for a few stolen hours. At 2 a.m, Seoul time, Tae-Hyun was still in his office when his phone rang. His American security team. He answered immediately. Report. The team leader appeared on screen, and Tae-Hyun could see exhaustion and stress written across his face. Sir, we have a situation. A serious situation. Tae-Hyun set down his pen, giving the man his full attention. What kind of situation? It's about Sienna Johnson. We lost visual on her. The world seemed to stop. What do you mean you lost visual? 3 days ago, we observed Sienna and David Kim leaving the Johnson house. They had packed bags. Looked like they were leaving for an extended period. We followed them as per your standing orders. And? The team leader pulled up a map on his screen. They headed west out of the city, rural Maryland. We maintained distance, standard surveillance protocol. But about 20 minutes into the drive... What? Sir, David Kim started making evasive maneuvers. Sudden turns without signaling. Doubling back on routes. Taking side roads and forest paths. It was professional, very professional. Tae-Hyun's grip tightened on his phone. You're telling me he knew you were following him? Yes, sir. He has training. Military or intelligence, we think. He knows surveillance protocols. He was actively trying to lose us. Did he succeed? The team leader's face showed shame and frustration. Yes, sir. We followed them through increasingly remote areas. Back roads, dense forest, and then... He paused. They just vanished. 1 minute we had visual on his vehicle, the next, nothing. No GPS signal, no visual confirmation. Like they drove into thin air. People don't just vanish. Sir, he must have had a pre-planned escape route, somewhere he could disappear from surveillance. We've been searching the area for 3 days now. We've covered hundreds of square miles. Checked every property, every road, every possible location, nothing. Tae-Hyun was on his feet now, his voice rising with barely controlled fury. You followed them. You watched them drive away from that house, and you lost them? Sir, he's a professional. He would have planned for this. Would have known how to evade. I don't care what he planned. Tae-Hyun slammed his hand on the desk. That's my son. That's the woman I love. And you're telling me she's been missing for 3 days and you have nothing? And you're even just telling me? We're doing everything we can, sir. We have teams searching. Get my private jet ready now. Tae-Hyun barked as he hung up. Then his secure line started ringing. The phone that only a handful of people in the world knew about. He stared at it, his heart hammering. Then answered, Mr. Johnson. His voice came out steady despite the chaos inside him. Tae-Hyun, I need your help. Kwame's voice broke. I think Sienna has been kidnapped. Tae-Hyun gulped hard. I think I know where they are. Oh my God, Sienna has been kidnapped. She's been missing for 3 days, and Tae-Hyun just found out. But wait, who caught that last time from Tae-Hyun? He said he might know where they are. But how? David revealed his entire plan. He's going to steal the baby. Tell Sienna he died, and give him to the Hwangs. And did you see? The police wouldn't help Kwame because he's black. They literally told him his daughter couldn't keep her pants on. Racism in America is real. Tae-Hyun is destroying his father's businesses. Everything is crumbling. And Dong-wook has no idea it's his own son doing it. And Misu, she came back, and they're sleeping together again. But under his roof this time. The police refused to help. Kwame tried. He tried to report her missing, and they didn't care. This is the reality for so many black families. Smash that like button if you're furious right now. Subscribe and turn on all notifications because you don't want to miss any stories from this channel. Drop a comment. What time is it where you are? Are you crying? Do you think Sienna will escape? Will Tae-Hyun save her? Team Tae-Hyun forever? We're looking at justice and hopefully, a happy ending. See you in part 8. Don't forget to subscribe.